What?
I have emailed like
Hello, everybody.
Shut up, Jose. Superbiz and Newegg and Amazon, and none of them will tell me when they're coming in stock. So I'm just kind of waiting. Okay, you can go now, Jose. Enjoy.
Hello, everybody. Hello, Team Absolution fans. Welcome to Damage Check episode. I don't even know which one it is anymore. I think it's 81, 2.
Is it some important milestone?
I think it's 80. I want to say it's 80, maybe 81. Welcome, as always. We're gonna wait about 5 minutes, let people trickle in, and then we're gonna get started on GB8 stuff. And it's not gonna be a long because the topic is gonna integrate with the spoilers today. So it's gonna be a pretty shorter damage check because they kind of coincide.
Until we get off on some weirdo tangent and go down the bunny hole, never to be seen or heard from again.
The Matrix.
We do that. I need to post a link.
Going down the bunny hole just like Nick from Zootopia? What?
So the Lucarianite says, who here plays Duel Links? Brax is actually really big into Duel Links. So if you get hold of Braxton, he's pretty big into Duel Links.
I'm not even signed on to our YouTube account. That's embarrassing. Oopsies! That's the wrong Team Absolution account.
It's gonna be
darn.
It's gonna be crazy. We're still waiting on a lot of them. I wonder what the Bermudas is gonna do. I wonder what all of them are gonna do. At this point, anything's
bounce everything, get 10Ks and crits on everything. Enjoy your.
Yeah, it'll probably bounce anything. It'll probably bounce everything. Call 5 things. If you called like 3 things with different names or something like that, or like with the same name, like stuff. Wait, no, that sounds more like Neonectar actually. Neonectar should probably do something like that. Like copy 1 card 5s.
No, everything has the same name. Enjoy. This is like what Mega Blasts were supposed to be. Ah, shit.
Dude, guys, I need a haircut, man. My hair is too darn big.
Hair is big.
My hair is big. All right. But yeah, except for that, I'm finally almost done with Zelda. This is good news.
You made it. Good job.
I finally made it. I can start playing any of the other games I've purchased.
Yeah,
last, like 2 weeks.
Oh, did you see where some dude speed ran the Zelda game and it only took like 50 hours? That's not you, friend.
Wait, he did it in 50 hours? I think I saw somebody beat it in an hour or something. I don't know, maybe.
No, like everything, like 100%, like done.
Oh.
Like Skyrim, 100%. We're done with this.
Well, that man's a god, and I am but a mere mortal.
Oh, thank you, Rin. Who I cannot say. Someone take a stab at that name for me.
Yeah. Ryan, hit us with the real name there.
Yeah.
Rin Hoshizoran Ya.
Yay! That's it. Thank you so much.
Hoshizoran Ya. Thank you very much. And I do agree. The Spike Brothers GB8 is Steroid Man.
We don't talk about that.
I was gonna make a very poor taste, a joke in very poor taste, but I will no longer make that joke. GC1 isn't bad. It's still a finisher. My real name is Mac. Well, thank you, Mac. I appreciate that. All right.
That is a much easier name to say. Thank you.
Yeah.
Oh, we actually do have tournament news. I guess I should pull that up tonight.
We also have new news in general. Bermudas in particular. We'll go over that later.
Oh, trial Lex. Pisha. I kind of doubt they've published those nifty little infographics, but
yo, Nate, is that a new camera?
It is not a new camera, actually. Tonight is just one of the very first few nights that I've actually cared to like turn down the exposure and the gain so my lights don't make me look so white. But with the lights, I look especially white. So I've actually got some settings on it to make it look decent. I actually cared tonight. Woohoo!
Oh, I remember that. That was a good time. You go, Mac. I remember that. We did a relay fight. Ryan carried the team.
I did in fact carry the team.
All right, let's get started, everybody. So welcome to Damage Check, episode 80-something. Today's a big day. It's where we see the peak of power creep in Vanguard. The limit. Like, this is ultimate power behind an ultimate paywall. We're going to talk a lot about it today, including some news from Bushiroad tournaments and some news in terms of summer releases. So joining me today in my beautiful host of hosts, I've got the Doombringers, the Greatbringer, the Allbringer, the Truthbringer, Ryan Doobringer Griffin.
Why isn't the Kagero GB8 Griffin related?
And then for places unknown versions of the scene, we have the Phantom Nate himself.
Hello. I really thought we had abandoned the stupid, like, all bringers name everything kind of bringer, but I guess it's back. And we're
Sometimes you got to go back to your roots, Nate. Sometimes you got to go back to where we started.
Okay.
iPad tilted filming damage check.
You've tilted filming damage check for a variety of reasons. Let's be honest here.
So let's get started on spoilers. But so we're gonna change up the normal formula of how we do damage check today, because I think that the way that the topic is so integrated with the spoilers, because all the spoilers are GB8 cards, we're just gonna talk to them as far as we're gonna start with the topic and integrate the spoilers as we talk about them. So GB8 was not a joke. It is real. It is legit. It is happening. The end of the world is upon us.
Everyone's got it.
Yes.
Yay.
So so we've got a lot of GB8 cards to talk about. We wanted to. Last week we were super busy. We wanted to give us some time to like see what the scope of these skills would be before we really talked in depth about them. And now we've got a pretty decent chunk of them. All of them, a variety of power included. So let's go and jump in. Let's talk about the first one. Ryan, give us the first one.
All right, so our very first. Which one was this? I believe this is the Nova Grappler one. Dark Knight Urgenwelt.
No, that's the Shadow one, dude.
Oh, it is the Shadow one. It looked great to me. Anyway, no, this is the one that Nate likes a lot. So Dark Knight Urgenwelt, Stride, Act, Vanguard Circle once per turn, Generation Break 8. You'll hear me say that a lot today. Counterblast 1, choose up to 5 of your rear guards and retire them. Search your deck for up to the same number of grade 1 or less cards as the number of units that were retired. Call them to separate rear guard circles, and they get power plus 15,000 until end of turn. Choose up to the same number of your opponent's rear guards to the number of units that were called and retire them, shuffle your deck. So what this actually says is counterblast 1, kill all your useless crap, put it in the drop zone for later ritual use, bring out all your cards to say draw a million cards, murder your opponent. The end.
Okay. That's pretty much what it says. I mean, so this was the first one that we saw that wasn't just the image that we thought that the GBA was happening. This was really the full crux. And this one definitely surprised me. I was like, wow. This really set the tone, I think. I think the next one sets the tone even more, but this one set like the tone, like this is how powerful these strides can get. So the way I want to talk about these, both for the panel and for you guys watching at home, is usually when we talk about strides, it's about like how powerful is the stride, when can you utilize it, stuff like that. So with these strides, we have to realize that these are behind like a high paywall, and for some easier than others. Like, I think Shadows can get to GB8 relatively at a decent speed. I wouldn't say maybe. I'm trying to think. Nate, do you think that they can get there pretty fast? Or?
Oh, yeah. I mean, really, the only card I can think of that we're not using that costs a Persona Flip is Carnivore Dragon. And honestly, even then, I think that card's kind of on the way out just because of the new stuff from GB10 and how it makes Aura Geyser even more busted than Aura Geyser was. So in reality, yeah, we get there super quick because we only have one unit that really doesn't persona flip, and it's great.
You all know how I feel about Orgeyser.
Oh, we love it.
So I think that this is a great card in terms of that for that purpose. Also, let's get the chicken out of the room. Let's get the elephant out of the room really fast here. So, a lot of people are saying like, I wouldn't use this. I don't need to ever go to GB8, and I completely agree with you. A lot of clans, you probably get away with not using this. Well, not a lot of them, I would say, but like the top tier decks, you're probably not gonna have to worry about it. Because you're putting the game away at a faster pace. That's why you're the best decks in the game. The best decks in the game right now are the decks that are gonna end the game before GB8 is even relevant. But for the rest of them, this is important to talk about because, at least in America, people play what they like, and that's something worth discussing here. Now, granted, in the top tier matchups, in a lot of cases, GB8's not a relevant thing, but you never know what's going to happen, and sometimes you're going to wish you had that finisher, and this Wish Road saying we'll give you that finisher. Not to mention the fact is we don't want games to last 50 minutes anymore. We don't want games going to time anymore. Let's end it with this card. You know, GB8 ends it. Like these are what these cards are saying. GB8 ends it.
You do have to appreciate though, Bushiroad's just audacity. They recognize we have a terrible system for when games go to time. So rather than fix the system and the rule set that contributes to this, we're just going to make sure that no games actually go to time. We're not going to fix the problem. We're going to fix the solution. That's how it's going to work.
Hey, man.
Bushi logic.
Yes.
Why stop the bleeding when you can sell better Band-Aids?
Hey. That is our That's the U.S. economic. That's
our medical system
treatise for since like World War I.
All right, so let's go on with the next one. Ryan, you want to go ahead and give us the next one?
All right, Mr. Poster Child himself, Dimensional Robo Supreme Commander Ultimate Die King. That's Dimensional Robo Supreme Commander Ultimate Poster Child to you. Auto, Vanguard Circle, Generation Break 8. When this unit attacks a Vanguard, this unit gets power plus 10,000, critical plus 1 for each of your rear guards until end of that battle. At the end of that battle, if this unit's power is 80,000 or greater, all of your rear guards get power plus 10k for each of this unit's critical until end of turn.
Well then.
Okay, so this was the card that I was like, oh, GB8 is dumb. Like, there's no way. I can't deal. This card, I have no qualms with this. This is literally Stride, puts you at 26. This is full board plus 4k gets you 80. That's all you need.
And if you're striding on top of, like, a cosmic hero, good job. You did it. It happened. Counterblast 1.
And also what's important is that what I love about this card, in my personal opinion, I think it is the best. Its only paywall is the GB8. There is no cost associated to this.
It's free.
And like, it's important to recall also that cards get power plus 10k for each. So we're talking Vanguards at 80k and 5 critical. And your rear guard columns are at like 120,000. These are astronomical lines. These are like infinite.
You can't guard all this. You can't do it. This is 116k at your face on the rear guard.
Ryan, you know how you haven't drawn your PGs up until this point in the game? Now would be a great time to get all 3 in hand. Just do it. Just do it. Okay.
All right, so I said my piece on this card because I think it's magnificent. But what about you guys? What do you guys think?
I mean, this card is like the baseline for what GB8 should look like. I'm going to end the game. That's all there is to it. Here comes 5 critical. You can't let this hit. It's Descendant all over again. It's the game ends now. Not later. Now. You do not have enough to guard this. There is no physical way. I don't care if you're playing Shadows. Stop 300 plus K lines. How do you do that? You don't. You don't do that. All right, okay, one's 80k. That's the Vanguard. Enjoy yourself. Treat yourself somehow.
And it's swinging with 5 crits, so that's the line you know you have to PG. Like the other ones, like if you were at 4 damage, like one of the other ones, you hypothetically like, oh, that line's 140,000, and that line's 148,000. Which one should I guard? But like it's just both of these lines are just astronomical. So it's just. I mean, the thing's swinging for death on its own, so you definitely got to be like, because it's crit plus 5. That's what I'm saying, plus 5 critical. So it's swinging plus 5 crit at 6 damage total. So it's ending your life on its own. And then, like, it's got its homeboys in the corner going like, don't worry, we'll finish the job.
See, this would be like the ultimate solution for if the angels actually said heal 5 damage, and you're like, I don't care. 80k 6 crit.
But that's enough. But I think that this card is not only the peak of power creep, it's the peak of power in Vanguard. Like the cheapest, most efficient, fastest way to get as much damage and as much power on the board. It's just literally have 5 dudes.
Granted, that's a pretty big paywall in itself. This card is hot ass if you don't have 5 dudes. It doesn't work.
I mean, if you had 2 dudes, the Vanguard column is still a viable threat. It's just getting that 80k to boost the other rearguard columns that just isn't good. But I agree. All right, let's go ahead with our steroids boy himself.
Indeed. All right, Runaway Demon Hellhard 8, whatever that means. Stride, Vanguard Circle, GB8, Auto. When your unit attacks, choose one of your units until end of turn. It gets power plus 10k and auto. Sorry. All right, let me emphasize this. Auto, Vanguard Circle, Generation Break 8. When your unit attacks, choose one of your units until end of turn. It gets power plus 10k and auto Rearguard Circle. Choose a card from your hand, put this unit and the chosen card into your soul. At the end of the battle, if this unit attacked or boosted, you may pay the cost. If you do, search your deck for up to 1 card, call it to open Rearguard Circle, and shuffle your deck. This card says, keep the Spike Dream alive for as many cards in hand as you have. How many attacks is that? As many as it needs to be.
This card should have said GB8 4th and long. Let's go.
That's what GB8 is. It's 4th and long every time.
We've made it to double overtime. Put him to sleep. Please, put him to sleep. The Falcons blew a 28-point lead.
Always remember, the Falcons blew a 28-point lead.
So, Nate, thoughts on the Spike Bros?
I mean, I would say this is probably the most viable form of an infinite loop, or the closest thing you're going to need to it that we've seen in Vanguard. I bet Spike Bros get here. I don't buy into the Genesis Neo Nectar crap. So, yay, Spike Brothers.
All right. Here's the real stuff you do with this. Because, granted, this card's really only good for as many cards as you have in hand. And by GB8, how many cards do you reasonably have? So, Spike players, hear me out.
We haven't guarded the entire game, Ryan.
12 draw triggers, 4 heal triggers, amass. Try to hang in there until you can murder them with this instead of running 12 crits like you really should. And end the game on time. All right. This one has 2 lines of text. Is it good? Maybe. So this is the DI one. Absolute Zero Coffin Ratran Vitri.
Oh, that sounds like a DI name.
Stride. Continuous Vanguard Circle, Generation Break 8. For every 13 cards in your soul, all of your units in the front row get power plus 13,000, critical plus 1. Smells flavorful. And that is all.
It's 2 lines of text. I'm not going to disagree. First of all, this card is good. I'm not like saying it's good. I mean, it's great. I mean, it's giving criticals to rear guards. I have no qualms with it. We were talking like 2 months ago about a D-Robo card that did this, and I was nuts for it. I got no problems with this.
And one of your units is Silent Tom, so
that's what I'm saying. It's like we're gonna talk about this more with one of the other strides coming up, but this is a card that is good in a vacuum, is great when you include the fact that like you've got rear guards that have Silent Tom, and like the fact that the clan is all about putting stuff into the soul, and the fact that it's GB8, so it's already a late game deck in a certain degree because you're waiting to have a big soul to do things. So like in all angles, like this card is only supplemented by the clan it's in. Like I could totally see your rear guards having +2 critical and +26k, which means that's a lot of guard potential too. I mean, it's not D Robo levels of guard needed, but like still, you're gonna need a decent amount of guard. What do you think,
and
Nick?
it is.
Go ahead, Ryan.
Sorry.
Okay, and it is crits on the rear guard. So, like we said, even with Die King's absolutely massive ability to like shove the largest power lines you've ever seen down your throat, this guy. I mean, what is that worth if you're there at 4 damage? And a damage is a damage. It's always been, no matter how weak the attack was, as long as it could hit, it's the same amount as if you throw 200,000 on the rear guard, but no crits. So at least this guy's providing you value there. I think the 13 cards in your soul was a little steep compared to some of the other things, but I would have liked something like GB8 for every 6 cards in your soul. All of your units in the front row get power plus 10k, and if the number of cards in your soul is 12 or more, it gets critical +1. But they had to sprinkle all that nice seasoning on it, sprinkle DI little bats on it until it looks like the clan it's supposed to be in, I guess.
Had to make it spooky with the 13s, man. Spooky. What do you think, Nate?
I mean, yeah, I'm kind of in the same boat with Ryan. The only qualm I have is it's a very hard number. 13. I would have been perfectly content with a 1-for-1. For every card in your soul, your front row gets +1, and for every 10, it gets +1 crit. That would have been nice. That would have been a little more flexible than saying it's kind of 13, 26 or bust. You know, if I have 22, I'm going to be really, really upset. Or
so sad.
No, 25. If I have 25, I'm going to be really upset. So, great card. It just could have been that much better.
Also, I have half my deck in my soul. I lose. I don't have any cards to play with. I'm already using Serpent Charmer to bail me out, you know?
So, I like it, but I see the problems that you guys are presenting. Let's throw into what we think is one of the more weaker ones so far.
All right, we got Assassination Mutant Deity Tyrantus. Also, we're talking about flavor. This man doesn't look like no assassin. He's just walking up to you and trying to punch you in the face with like all 6 arms. He doesn't have a weapon. He's just like, I mean, at least make this guy look like that one insect dude from Rick and Morty. Yeah, here I go killing again. All right. So Stride, continuous Vanguard Circle, Generation Break 8. All of your opponent's Vanguards and Rearguards lose their auto abilities and cannot intercept. All of your units get power plus 5,000 for each of your opponent's Vanguard and Rearguard in rest. So the fact that this is continuous, and it only makes the Vanguard and Rearguards lose their auto abilities, how does this help me? Someone tell me what this stops. All I can think of is Gurgoyte, and that's it. I don't know anything else that has an auto ability that I care about during my turn.
Do any of the Kagero cards, like the kill dudes?
Freeze Ray. If you trigger them. Okay, Freeze Ray.
There we go.
And
that's one.
Sadag.
Good job, Nate. So proud of you.
I guess.
Yeah, that's just kind of, I mean, it's a nice little add-on to have there, but in terms of how useful it is, it's kind of, eh.
Yeah, it basically just says, here's a bonus.
Gabriel.
Okay, so this card is situational as all hell, and yet we already have like Destroyer and Obturandus, which are not situational as all hell. Those always help you, and this is like, congratulations, you queued into Angels. Guess I win the game now.
If you survive that long.
And plus, he just puts 50k on each line. How much do I care about Gavrail when it's like, I got another 2k, and you're like, 66. Here you go.
The Gear Cat. People are naming some cards, but these are all situational cards. Like, none of the other cards we've had to list so far have we had to say, like, okay, in what situations
good job.
I like, in what situations are these good? No, like all the other cards we've talked about were like, you put this on the board, you have a high chance of winning the game. Now, granted, the power line this presented does give you that, assuming your opponent A had a lot of dudes on board when he was swinging at you, and B he swung with all those dudes, or you were able to rest them on your turn using your cards. Now, granted, like I think that this is better, like getting the 25k on all your dudes. That's great. But like we're not seeing any criticals or anything that like to me this is much more lackluster than all the other cards we've seen before it. Personally.
This just has one extra condition where the D Robo card was kind of you just get power because you're here. This one just adds that next layer of condition. Well, you get power if X is the case. It would have been better if it just got power and crits or not.
Lord Vowson brings up a good point, but I have to retort to him real quick just so the audience can know. He said, if I recall, G Guardians have auto. Yes, however, the Guardian Circle is left untouched.
Which
so
that would have made this card awesome. That's what we needed. Anything that touches the board this turn does not work. Or tries to activate an auto ability. So PGs and G Guardians, if it turned those off, this card wins you the game immediately. That is, go straight in, run train your opponent, congratulations to GB8, you shake your opponent's hand, you say good game. That's you drop Heavenly Aegis on the board and it goes, you can't kill this. Enjoy your
I absolutely agree.
References.
Also, I do want to point out to the chat, and they probably already saw it, that Jorge supports the fact that we believe that the main colony card is trash, and the man loves bugs.
He's like, this card could be good at this. And Jorge's not trying to justify a card to you. It's ass. Not kinda. The whole, like, poke it a little bit to see if it's real ass. Walk up and slap it in the club. Don't do that. That's sexual harassment ass.
All right, so
on to a good card.
Let's move on to the next one. I think I left it to that.
All right, this man came out on tech.
I've already been getting questions on this one, so.
All right. This man came out on tax day. Royal, he's coming for that butt. Divine Knight of Condensed Light, Olbius Avalon. Royal Paladins. What did Bushi do this time? Stride, Auto, Vanguard Circle, GB8. Counterblast 1. If you have it. When this unit attacks a Vanguard, you may pay the cost. If you do, search your deck for up to 5 cards, call them to separate rearguard circles, and until end of turn, they get power plus 4,000, and this unit gets critical plus 1. Shuffle your deck. The thing that I have to say about this card is they made it so underpowered in relation to its counterparts, and yet because it's Royal Paladins, it's straight gas. Why?
So,
no, I don't like your card.
So I'm gonna preface this with 2 statements here. One, if you're playing Vanguard, you're never gonna get GB8. That's just not gonna happen. You're gonna either die or you're gonna win. But it's gonna be within the first 2 to 3, maybe 4th stride. If you make it a GB8, you did something wrong.
Yeah, you can't play this in Vanguard. There's no way.
Like Vanguard's. So let's take that out of the equation and let's talk about the other decks that are playable. Blasters.
Alfred combo.
Alfred combo beats. Maybe the new blaster build people I'm sure are working on. And Brave. Given that, Ryan's point has a lot of merit, especially when you consider blasters as a valuable deck, which it is. It's more attacks, and you build the combos you need. You just build them. You want Flogels, you find Flogels.
Welcome to Vanguard. Can I take your order? Yeah, I'm gonna have 2 blaster blades, a double Flogel, and a blaster friend on the side. Thank you. Come again.
Done. Like, and you get +8 on those columns. So it's like they're beefy columns, you know? And so I really have no, like, this card in a, so we talked about it, the other card, the DI card in a vacuum, this card's underwhelming. Like, call 5 dudes, that's great. In a vacuum, it's nice. In a vacuum, it's not as good as the other strides. Outside of a vacuum and within the deck it belongs, or in the clan it belongs, this card is just fire. But I think that speaks more to the dangerous state of Royal Paladins than it does to the card's power itself. Nate, would you like to say anything?
I'm good. Thank you.
I think we've said it all there. Yeah, so before anybody asks me again, I think the card itself is underwhelming, but I think Bushiroad made it intentionally underwhelming because Royals are gas.
Jose, your new deck name has to be Perfect Boat 513 or whatever it was. That was Jose's Wi-Fi password for the longest time. Perfect Boat. Build yours today.
So let's talk about the nurses that come to heal.
All right, or maybe just kill you. Drevlin says, I like her hair. Black Seraph Velato Terminal. Stride, Rescue, Auto, Vanguard Circle, Generation Break 8. When this unit attacks a Vanguard, all units in your front row get power +2k for each card in your damage zone until end of turn. Choose up to 5 cards from your damage zone. Heal them. Choose one of your Vanguards, and for each damage healed with this effect, deal 1 damage. So 5 rescues plus 10k to the whole front row. How good is it? I mean, I guess you can search for extra crits. That's kind of nice. Your broken hearts go off. Have fun. Your Pegasi are big. They get plus 20k total, I guess.
So, I actually think this card's great. I know it sounds weird, but I mean, like, you're checking 5 cards. You're probably going to check some triggers. Some of those might be crits.
I mean, it's a good card, but I'm looking at Die King like, this guy just does it better, you know? This guy,
no, but dude, this is legitimately because it's when it attacks. So like,
I guess you can reference a bunch.
We're talking 5 checks, and then 3
more checks. Yeah, the 8 check special.
8 checks. That's 8 checks.
I mean, but in all fairness, Die King just kind of takes the checking out of the equation. He's just like, I'm straight getting this.
Okay, at some point we gotta leave Die King out of this.
Man. No, he is the gold standard for what a GB8 should look like.
I don't know if he should be the baseline. He should be the pinnacle, dude.
All right, chat. Which of these is the baseline? Somebody tell me. It can't be Royals. Royals on the bad side of the line, but really good in the deck. All right, tell me what a standard GB8 should look like. Because I'm saying Die King. I'm saying if you're not better than this, get out of my face. All right.
No, I'm saying the DI one is the base. Like, if you're worse than the DI one, then you're not that impressive. Like the Mega Colony one. If you're better than the DI one, then like you're in the money. Either the DI one but the Shadow one is better than the DI one in my opinion. And like, I think this one's better than that. This is 8 checks. And like your broken hearts are going off, so if you hit some stains, you're in Value Town. Like, I think this is good. And you get 5. I mean, now granted, I don't like that this card also might imply that you might survive another turn, but you see what I'm saying?
So the thing about Angels is they really did. I feel like they tried. They're like, all right, what's an Angels-like effect we can amp up to what current power can look like? And so they just said, we'll take Rescue to the highest amount it can go. It's on attack, so you have the opportunity to Refros and everything else before that, but then you're just relying on what you already had instead of GB8, I need to win the game now. Like, this does okay, but like I'd probably put it at the same level as DI. I mean, unless you've got a great setup already, and keep in mind that Royals gets you your setup. That's its whole shtick, is here's the perfect board, do what you gotta do. This is hope you had something good, hope you get something good. And that much chance in this, I don't really appreciate.
Is it a lot of chance when you're checking 8 cards though? That's a lot of cards to check. I'm just saying.
I mean, all right. Some of these cards are putting 25 on every dude, and I'm like, I get 10k and maybe triggers.
You're not
triggers.
Wrong. I'm just saying that, like, we're gonna find very few cards. Even in the small selection, there's like select few that are Die King-esque in power. I can think of 2 more right now. And this obviously isn't one of them. I'm just saying that this is fine as a GB8. Is it the best GB8? No. But it's fine.
All right, so chat says we got a few things. Spikes, shadows, and yeah, so kind of spikes or shadows should probably be the baseline, or maybe DI. So those are like our few votes. Quorum, you're wrong. GC is amazing. We're talking like to compare these to each other. Where are we sticking? Like, our DI is a decent choice. It's a pretty amped up effect, but I honestly think that one's kind of below. I think shadows. It's just a maxed out version of another card.
All right, then by that standard, I think the next card we're about to talk about falls far below that.
I agree. All right, Mr. I will ruin your deck sheet himself. Supreme Heavenly Emperor Dragon, Blazing Burst Dragon. It really should have another comment say Ryan's ultimate disappointment. The Dragon Ball Z. I might enter that sometime and see if they know what card I'm talking about. Auto Vanguard Circle. Break 8. When this unit attacks the Vanguard, retire all of your opponent's rear guards, and all of your rear guards get plus 10k until end of turn. If the number of cards that were retired is 3 or more, this unit gets power plus 10k and plus 1 critical until end of turn. Why is this my GB8? This could literally be any other Kagero Stride and just have CB3 attached, and it would be the same thing. Can anyone tell me who done it? Who made this card and said, you know what? That's what we need. Because you know what this card tells me? This card says, you know what we're going to do? We're going to make it so your opponent can't win the game next turn, and I feel like that's where the philosophy got all screwy. Kagero is all about next turn. You get to do this because you hampered your opponent this turn. I'm like, I don't want to live again. I want the game to be over. And this card says, no, you have to deal with your opponent again. All right. Someone decided that retire was still good. I guess I get to do another segment. Someone said that retire is worth taking out half the power of this card and putting it on something that you don't care about. Kagero, your new mechanic is restanding. Get over it. It's happening. I wanted this to say Supreme Heavenly Emperor Dragon, Overlord, the Dragon. Restand twice. Just use Nahalem. Just use Nahalem.
No, it's just, here's the thing. Like, some people are saying, like, you already have so many good strides. One, maybe. We could argue that back and forth that Kagero has amazing strides. They have great strides. No, but I mean, I would say Royals and Shadows have much of the legendary trio that existed from the dawn of Vanguard. Well, not the dawn, I guess, because Shadows didn't come until BT4. But the legendary trio of the original series, Shadows, Royals, and Kagero. We can all agree that Kagero has fallen the furthest behind the pack.
For now.
Of course. Date this as April 19th, 2017. Could change. This GB8, if we're setting our baseline to Shadows, then this, I mean, Shadows does what Shadows can do what this card does, and then does more. So I say it's better.
If I had to compare this to a card we already have, and this is a more amped up version of that, it's Titan. You know what I like about Titan? Nothing. I don't like anything about Titan. Why do I go into Titan? Because they're not ready to die. It is the card that I have to use in the mid game to keep my opponent off of me until Ace or Novell does the job. And neither of those do the job, and neither does Titan. So what does this do? Nothing. It just gets me more Titan. It makes my Novells slightly bigger, and then I have 31k Novells and whatever's behind it. So maybe I'm hitting the 50s. And you know what makes me happy about it? It doesn't while 116 guy is over there, and I'm like, why is all my power going into disadvantaging my opponent when he's just drawn all the cards anyway? And Jose got called by his mother, so I'm going to go right to the next one, and we're done with that. All right, Quorum, we've read this card, trust me. It's just not the baseline. This is just what a GB8 really needs to look like to actually do stuff. Interdimensional Dragon, Beyond Order Dragon, Mr. Mystery Flare Part 2 himself, Open the Way Gate, Dimension Shift, Time Warp, whatever you want to call it, it's time to take another turn. Stride, act,
time to run it back!
Once per turn. Gotta get back to the past.
This is Interdimensional Dragon, Samurai Jack, or Aku, depending on your preferences on your Chronicle.
He looks more like Aku. Act Vanguard Circle once per turn. Generation Break 8, Counterblast 1, and Soul Blast 1. And bind 8 cards from the top of your deck face up. Yeah, good luck with decking out. After the original battle phase of this turn, you perform an additional main phase and battle phase, and until end of turn, this unit gets auto Vanguard Circle at the beginning of your main phase. Stand this unit, and it gets drive -1 until end of turn. Perform the end phase after the additional phase.
Guys, remember how the problem with Mystery Flare was it was so conditional? This thing doesn't have conditions. Just throwing that out there.
Oh!
Yeah,
we just replaced it with a different paywall, but honestly, this one's just easier, and that's saying something.
Yeah.
Oh, I mean, assuming you have resources, which I almost never do when I play Gear Chronicle. I have no soul and I have no CP. That's just the way things are. And I need 8 cards from the top of my deck. Woohoo! Yeah. Let me just randomly remove my time leap targets. But aside from that, and my little bit of bitching about that, this is a good card. This lets you do something that I've always kind of wanted to do, and let's take it back to the main phase, do your turn over again, call additional dudes, and rebattle. So it's got the same advantage engine as something like Next Stage, except with more power, because the power never leaves. You get to do everything again. You just can't stand your rear guards.
So
that's that.
I am torn with this card, Ryan. I am torn asunder on my opinions on this card. Because a part of me wants to say that this is Die King-esque, and in a way it is, because like no card in Vanguard outside of Mystery Flare, which isn't really even a card, no, it's kind of a coaster. Everything outside of Die King, I mean, everything outside of Mystery Flare, like this is the only other card within its scope of skill, like in design space wise. It's like rewinds the clock and lets you go over. That's its plus. A lot of people think this card's busted. I don't. I think this card is actually well designed. It's behind a pretty steep cost. Still, I mean, GB8, CB1, Soul Blast 1, bind 8 cards. That's a lot of things to do to get that to happen. You don't stand your rear guard, so you need the resources. Like,
and also, Time Leap doesn't end.
That's true, and Time Leap doesn't end. So if you've Time Leaped a lot of stuff, those are gone. And if you get rid of any other stuff, you've anchored them away, and now they're gone. And so I'm saying that this is a card that in a vacuum also really isn't that good. It's kind of high cost. You need resources to really get its full advantage out of it. The fact that it exists in Gear Chronicle is really its saving grace. And when you activate its skill, you have to hope that either the 3 cards that you're drawing were triggers and you put them all in the Vanguard for when he restands, or that you drew into some new fuel that you can use to really amplify the next turn, and that you have other resources you can still exhaust. CB, or you draw into a Malum you haven't gone through yet for some reason, or an upstream that you've tucked back, or something like that. I think the card is great. But I think that sometimes people get a little too overzealous about it. I think it because it's so novel, its skill is so unique that it kind of disrupts from it. I mean, I'm not going like I think the card's awesome and well designed personally, but I that's my opinion. Nate's laughing at me because I think he thinks I'm wrong.
Oh, I think you're very wrong. I mean, also one of the things you said was, you're going to either get 3 triggers or you're going to get fuel that you can use. Neither of those options sound bad to me. Either I'm getting crits on stuff, or I'm getting stuff I'm calling to attack you with. There is nothing wrong can happen on that drive check. Nothing wrong can happen. Everything's winning.
Hey, I never said the card is bad. I said the card is great. Let's remember here, okay? I never once said the card was bad. I'm just saying that people have blown the card. I mean, we're talking about GB8 cards here. We have to remember this. Like, we're talking about cards that when you drop them on the board, 90% chance once you drop this, you've won the game. Like, that's it. It's just in the method you wish to proceed with the game. And this one, I think, is, well, the card itself is designed in a way where it seems fair to me. That's all I'm saying.
See, I don't like it because I think it was very poorly designed in that CB1 and Soul Blast 1, I'm not going to say that's expensive. I'm just not. I think it's more a testament to how expensive Gear Chronicle as a clan is that you consider that expensive. But in terms of the scope of things, give any other clan CB1 Soul Blast 1 for a whole restand and another main phase, they're not going to say it's that expensive.
I'll take it. Another.
That's fair.
Just going to say.
That's fair. That's fair. That's fair. I can understand that point.
Also, they made it another Gear Dragon. They are not thinking ahead. They're not.
It's an act skill, so
okay.
No problems there.
There we go. There's also, I totally disagree. This is the last thing I'm going to say about it. I totally disagree with your statement that its saving grace is that it's in Gear Chronicle. I think that's probably the worst part about this card. I think it won't be played because it's in Gear Chronicle. I think had you put this in any other clan, it would definitely be played as a one-of because that's just an awesome skill. That's like, it really is redoing your turn except for the stride and draw phase. It really is. But because it is in Gear Chronicle, they have so much other good stuff. They could just Metallica Phoenix you and kill you. They have no real need to do this. So
that's true. I agree that they are a tier 1 deck. I'm trying to put these things to make these cards relevant. Because we also have to remember that like a lot of these cards, like the Shadow one, the Royal one, the Gear Chronicle one, they're just not relevant. It's not going to happen.
See, this won't be... Oh, go ahead.
The Grand Blue one, whenever we get it, like those decks just don't get to GB8 very often. These cards are really going to benefit the tier 2 matchups that stall out forever, like Link Joker versus
Great Nature.
Whatever Link Joker, Great Nature. Like these decks that can just like go into eternity and like will stride themselves out. You know what I mean? And they need finishers to really put the game. Like I remember we're going to talk about this in a little bit, and we need to get to that at some point.
No.
The tournament. I saw the video of the second place. Tournament player who played CBD who just won recently, and he plays Blizza in his stride deck because Link Joker has no finisher. Like they have no, Star Vaders have no finisher. So like he really had no finisher to use there. So he's like, I'm gonna use Blizza. But if Link Joker's like GB8 card is like a really powerful finisher, boom, you got one. That's what these GB8s are supposed to do. But it's a fighter's collection, so they got to give it to everybody. And Chrono is the main character, so they got to find a way to make him use it. And you know what I mean? So a lot of what you're saying, and I do think that if this had been the Kagero card, right, I'd be jumping for joy right now.
Yeah, can I just have this instead? Time Dragon. Time playing dragons.
And I totally agree. I'm just saying this is not a relevant card, not because it's not good or not great. It's just because the deck it's in is already that good, where a new main phase and a new battle phase simply does not matter. We're at that point in the game. A new main phase and a new battle phase for CB1 Soul Blast 1 does not matter because you can do better. Not a failure of the card. That is a failure of Bushiroad design balance around Gear Chronicle.
I agree, but I disagree at the same time because it's GB8. Like, is GB8. Like every clan has cards that could put the game away earlier. It's just this is to help the matchups. not every game's gonna go to GB8. Like,
I mean, even at GB8, I would argue Metallica Phoenix might be your better option.
It usually is the best
yeah,
option.
if you had one.
You really should play more of those.
If you have a secret Metallica Phoenix, they're hiding in the corner of your G zone. Oh yeah, this is here. Let's bust this out.
Bandit Keith this.
So let's go on to the next one though.
All right, this is probably one of our favorites. Drevlin says, "Look at the hamscase. The dream is real." Immortality Professor Sahasrara.
You're in the school. That's funny. I see them with all the suitcase. Continue. Sorry.
Act Vanguard Circle, Generation Break 8. Choose 2 cards from your hand and discard them. Choose up to 5 of your rear guards, and until end of turn, they get power plus 10k and auto rearguard circle. At the end of your turn, retire this unit. And if the number of cards in your hand is 1 or less, this unit gets power plus 40k and plus 1 crit. This is not once per turn. So what you do is you just discard all your stuff away until you have everything, and then you just use all of your other draw effects that say, I want to draw all the cards in the game, and then you just draw 9 cards at the end of turn. Or you just use the hamscase like they are in the picture, which is actually pretty funny how relevant that is.
Well, doesn't that suck?
See, this is a card that's like, put everything on the table, I'm going in. And I appreciate the flavor of that. It sticks to the flavor. It sticks to the GB8. I'm going to kill you now. And it uses the cards in the deck well.
So, in continuing our discussion here, let me say this. This is Die King-esque.
Oh, yeah.
There is no contention that if we're putting the bar at the shadows, this is where, like, this is the meme dream. This is the meme dream. This is just, you just slam your hand down on the table, you put $1 billion K on the VG, and you just say, show me the VG, because it doesn't matter, because I got these beefy lines.
That's what we want. And this deck has Crayon Tiger. This is something we can make our dudes powerful and then restand them again in the same, or like, this supports the deck so well. All the Great Nature Strides really have to do is put more power and stuff on the rear guards and then not be terrible themselves. And this is what it needs to look like. This is a GB8. That's what I'm saying here.
Oh, man. This is a brave card I can get behind. Because it rewards.
Brave card.
This is a brave card I can get behind because it benefits you to discard your cards because it what keeps the skill going. If Royal Paladin cards had like discard a card from your hand, activate this skill, and then boom, if you're in Brave, then you get this other skill, I'd be like, the meme dream. Just drop your, I'm Brave, I'm going in, baby.
See, that would make Brave, when am I going in? Not, my mechanic sucks.
Oh, man, I love this card. This card is such a meme. I just want to see somebody use it. So...
See, this card could be used.
This card will be used.
Please. I want to walk into an ARG, and I just want to see a man bust out the Hamsuke covered card and just say, the meme dream. Discard all my cards, plus 160k to the VG.
Look at the hams, look at the moves. Faker. What just happened?
Boom! These are the kind of cards that they should print out as like big cards that you can carry with you. Pull it in your bag. The V dream.
Okay, guys, this is a Team Absolution exclusive. You have to do this. If you're playing against Great Nature and you can't kill them and they're at GB8, just go ahead and scoop. Don't let them have their turn. Don't let them be all smug and do this.
Just scoop. Let me murder a man with birds.
No, just scoop. Concede. Take the power back.
Also, I love that all of the recent Great Nature strides have just been birds, and they're huge, and they're large, and you don't want to deal with them. They're down. Alfred Hitchcock's
Dude,
worst
this is a
nightmare
professor.
himself.
He's got infinite tenure, man. He's immortal.
I'll be here getting paid forever.
All right.
Jorge knows about that anthropology dream, though.
So, that's all the spoilers we have so far. And what a good one to edit on. I love that card. So that's kind of our topic, and this is going to be a 3-topic because I really want to delve into like what all these GV8s are going to become. So like probably next week it's going to be GV8 part, talk about each card in depth and what GV8 is bringing in. Then once we see them all, we'll probably talk about GV8 overall as a mechanic, the good, the bad, the ugly.
Yeah, so first we had our predictions, and here we have the baseline. What does GB8 need to look like? How is it being balanced? And how does it help the decks as we see them? And so we kind of got a good feel for that. We got some good ones, so like Great Nature, real good. Royal Paladins, great in the deck that they're in just because they're already busted. And we got some disappointing ones, and we got Kagero, and I mean, in my opinion, like, Mega Colony. Oh yeah, Mega Colony's real bad. And like DI is kind of disappointing because it's just a whole boomer bust. And granted, that's how DI works anyway, so I guess we can call that flavor. And we got some in the middle ones. So we got Gear Chronicle, we got Spike Brothers, and we got Angels, and it would kind of depend on what you had going for you. And I don't like those as much, but of course, there's always some that are going to be Die King, and that's just how it's going to be. So this has been our baseline. You know, tell us about it and tell us your opinion on the next spoilers.
We are not done yet, though. We've got some news we want to cover. Then we'll go to down #Absolutions. But we got to cover this news real quick. So first, Nate, you got tournament news, right?
Yeah, tournaments. We had Bushiroad tournaments. Yeah, we'll just talk about them. We won't talk about their validity or anything. Just hush. Okay, so we had Jacksonville, Florida, which is sort of close to us, but not really. But we didn't go because it's still primarily best of 1, and that's fun. So, 5 through 8, so not advancing past top 8, were Aquaforce Blue Waves, Gear Chronicle, surprise, Altmile Brave, and Messiahs. Woo! 3rd and 4th, respectively, were Bermuda Triangles and Tachikaze Ancient Dragons. Thank you, Fred, for making an appearance. We love you. 2nd place was Chaos Breaker Dragon, Link Joker, and 1st place was Shadows. Yay, with Luard, the first major top I think we've seen. I'm so excited.
1 Royals, and it wasn't a Sankguard deck. What is this?
How disappointing.
People aren't running the 16 crit dream yet. They aren't running the mean dream.
No, they're running 14 crit and 2 draw. They're being stubborn and losing.
Hey, man, I got my 16. Look, I got my luminous hopes today. The 16 crit meme dream is coming. The 16 crit meme dream is coming. The freight train with no brakes is crashing into a wall near you soon.
Hang on, I'm posting the Thomas the Train thing.
Oh, sorry. Ed the Crimson said it was Aquaforce Thavas. I was provided with bad information. It was you! Congratulations, Ed the Crimson. Bravo.
And then, is there any other tournament news, or is that it?
Yes, we also had another event in Singapore. So this was the Singapore regional event. Let me see if I can follow these Bushiroad infographics here. It looks like we had 2 Grand Blue, 2 Shadow Paladin, 1 Gear Chronicle, 1 Royal Paladin, 1 Nova Grappler, and 1 Angel Feather. 3rd place was Angel Feather, Royal Paladins took 2nd, and surprise, surprise, the deck we love, Gear Chronicle, took 1st overall. Happy day, I guess. So
a single cheer.
Not all that surprising.
That sounds very Singaporean. I hope that Royal Paladin player was playing the 16 crit meme dream.
We're gonna hear him talk about this until he goes to a tournament and like tanks with it hard. Until he himself goes off the rails.
Weep womp.
So that's it as far as tournament news goes, I believe, right, Nate?
Yes, I think
so. In normal Vanguard news, no summer is complete without one thing from Bushiroad, and that is Bermuda Triangles. And so in Japan, they'll be coming out in July. So we'll be, or in like overseas, so we'll probably see see them in August or around there. Don't quote me on that.
No, it was actually scheduled for July in the English people's. So, simultaneous release? Oh, question mark.
We finally made it, boys. 4 years later. So supposedly, my understanding of this is I can't read moon runes. So my general understanding of this is Loris will continue to get support. There will be a new archetype or stride chick, I guess is a better way to phrase it. Stride mermaid. Chocho or Chow Chow. I don't know how to pronounce that.
It would be Chocho.
A new Pacifica, I think, is on her way. And then I forget what card it is with the blonde. Riviere. I forget the Riviere and a new Riviere. So a new Riviere, a new Pacifica, and Loris is coming. Prepare for no special, at least not confirmed yet. No super special, like rarity this time, except for more bikinis. So,
so it's the year of legs again, and we get Bermuda mermaids in swimsuits with legs. That is what you earned. Again, there are no maids. I'll have to wait till next year for my prediction to come true. So sad.
So
no new maids.
Yeah. So sorry, guys. But that's everything on the Bermuda support that I've got right now. So that we've got right now. But I want to go ahead and off to your questions. We don't have too much time, but I want to answer some of them. So make sure that you throw those hashtag #Absolutions. And I'll get the first one, and then I'll let Ryan get the next one, and we'll just start picking some.
I guess Bushiroad likes legs now. Is that their thing?
Well, they've done it before.
I mean, I know, but why aren't we doing anything new? And why have I been wrong 2 years in a row? I'm surprised it's taking them so long to do maids.
Yeah, well.
Maybe they're saving that for like the real value.
Hashtag Absolution. Header around Dragon, the GCG guard that spins the unit and replaces it on guard. What do you guys think on that affecting GB8? For example, against DI. Well, that's your solution right there, Christopher. Denial Griffin, header around. You're playing one of those decks, you have an answer. Congratulations. If you're not, hope for PGs. That's kind of how it is.
No. So, wait, which question did you answer?
Christopher Chariter.
Okay, so Phrasemon, does the Great Nature GB8 give the 40k and the crit to the rear guard? No, just the Vanguard. But it does give 10k to the rear guards in question.
Each time you use the effect.
So, but like, you're memeing hard on the Vanguard and on some of the rear guards. I mean, you're gonna push it in. You're gonna push in the damage. So yeah.
All right. Hashtag #Absolution. What do you want in Narukami GB8? I don't even know. Like, Kagero already took up the spot of retiring everything. Can I just have Narukami like be bigger descendant? That's all I want. Just make them murder the opponent. I don't care about all this bind stuff or whatever. I'm gonna let Keith answer that. Maybe he'll write a little article on it or something, but he couldn't be here today. So what do I want in Narukami GB8? Just go back to the glory days of Descendant and let me murder my opponent. That's all I want.
Oh, hashtag Absolution. Jose, are you happy that Aichi beat Chrono with Alfred and Blaster Blade? 100% happy. I could not be more happy.
Hashtag Absolution. We actually got a couple of these. What do you think the new GB8 skill will be for the new Amaterasu stride? So yes, Fighters Collection OTT stride will be Amaterasu based. I'm a little sad about that because I was really hoping for Masaki Legend deck with no Amaterasu support eventually, but it really could have just been anything. But they used Amaterasu. It's got to be about drawing cards, and it better draw me all the cards. Just GB8, draw 8 cards, give each of my dudes plus 2k for each card drawn, or just the front row. And that's fine. That'll get you back into the game. It'll still be better than Kagero. Give me that effect for like, I don't know, Counterblast 1, Soul Blast 1 or something. I don't care.
So, first of all, let me give a shout out to team. Okay, so I believe it's Team Nerd, but it's Team N3RD. So, first of all, welcome to the channel. I saw that this was your first time, so welcome, and welcome to anyone else who's watching us for the first time. I hope that you're enjoying this, and I hope that the chat has been welcoming to you and your questions. So welcome to watching Team Absolution. What is your opinion on classic Amon's followers, Dark Irregulars, as compared to Sharad? So I think Sharad is the more powerful build as of right now. Over to Ryan, because he was the one who was building our DI deck there for a while. So any thoughts there?
I thought, so it was the classic aggro versus like more GB style deck. Amon's followers were very strong, very fast, but I found the concept kind of boring when I was making a new deck. I actually wanted to play it for fun, more or less, or at least have it for the channel. So I built the GB version so I could use, Gilderay, WinCon, Building a Soul, Darkness Effects, that sort of thing. I wanted to build the Darkness deck, not the Amon's Followers deck. I did think Amon was very cool and very strong. That's just not the build I went with. It was more the Vanguard versus the Alt Mile sort of, trade there. I thought both decks were good. I just chose one over the other. So I think it's a fine choice. Some people do say that Blade Wings are the strongest deck in DI. I'm tempted to believe them in some circumstances, but again, not the deck I chose to build. Hashtag Ask Absolution. What tier do? Oh, you go ahead, Jose.
Yeah, it just said hashtag Absolution. What clans do you think will increase in tier after the Fighters Collection? What clans will become meta after the Fighters Collection? I really don't think that this is going to change the scope of the meta. This is really, I think everyone will get a lot of them will get a substantial boost, but I think it'll just. I mean, these are finishers. These are cards that end the game. But they're not ending the game any earlier or any later. They're ending the game around the same time period. The best decks in the game might not even use them because they're trying to finish the game before some of these cards are even relevant. So now that goes into the strides. In a lot of the cases, the G guards just aren't worth it, except in the fact that they help you get to GB8 faster. But that's my 2 cents on the topic.
I absolutely agree. Just, saying that GB8 is somehow going to impact the game without any other format changes is, I think it's really just going to divide up what becomes 1.5 and 2, if that. I'm pretty sure Tier 2 might get a little more straightened out after GB8 comes out. So Great Nature is obviously going to be better than, say, something else that's just worse. And now instead of being in the Tier 2 50-50 matchup, maybe it's a 58 and 42 sort of thing, or a 55-45 now that GB8 is here. So that's the kind of split we're looking at. But I don't think it's going to really, we're not going to see more, however many more Great Nature tops over Grand Blue just because GB8 came out. I don't think it's going to affect that much overall, but we'll see how GB8 kind of works into it, or if these cards come back as the game moves forward. And I don't know that they are, as Fighters Collection cards are almost entirely outclassed very quickly after a Fighters Collection release. So while those are a special case, we'll see what happens this time. Also, don't buy this set. It's a terrible value. That's Ryan's mad money. Don't buy this eBay or Ideal 808 or whatever. Buy your $2 GB8 cards you need one of and go on your way.
Yeah, this set is so weird to value out because, hypothetically, you only need one of the GR. You only need, if any, a few of the G Guardians, and I guess 4 of the heal if you choose to run the heal. So it's it's a weird value set. I would definitely not buy it.
All right.
What? Go ahead.
Go for it.
It says, Hashtag Absolution. What do you think the Nova Grappler GB8 has to be for it to be worth running? It's got to be a lot. Dude, it's kind of hard to guess these GB8s because they can really just go anywhere. So it could just be like stand all your dudes and every dude has plus 10k for every dude stood. And then if you stood 5 dudes, the Vanguard can stand. Like, I don't know. Gotta be something bonkers, you know?
I mean, if it makes my opponent like discard their hand or something, and that's it. Awesome. We're in there. Congrats. You did it.
Hashtag Absolution. What tier are Dudleys in right now?
Don't play that deck. Next question.
Yeah, right now I think Spikes, that particular Spikes is kind of on the lower side.
Yeah, it's just I don't know. I really can't give you any other advice other than like Nova, whatever his name is probably better. And even then, like Spike's aren't that great right now. Super sad.
Yo, Ryan. So quick question. Yep. Ryan was the one who made top 8 at ARG Nats last year, and how many people went that year?
164, I think.
164.
That might be wrong.
But that was also invite only too, wasn't it? No,
it was not. It was open. You could pay to get in, I think.
Right.
And then I got the one buy, and you guys squandered the rest. So sad.
See, here's the thing. The Aquaforce one, so Danny Lee brought up the Aquaforce one. The Aquaforce one used to be like, all your rear guards get like, and then they can swing from wherever they are. That's exactly how it's to be worded. They can swing from wherever they are. Back row, corner row, front row, side row, doesn't matter. They can attack when rested. Get double rested. Gold Paladins, what do you think of Gold Paladins and what do they need? Right now they seem to be doing okay. The builds are still forming. I know Braxton's slowly work. Gurgwood stuff's expensive right now, so he's definitely working on trying to acquire that stuff to get something rolling with that. So I think I'm going to end it there, though, guys. I want to thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed this GB8 spoiler and discussion. There will be more because we still have plenty more GB8 cards over the next week to unveil. I'm sure Bushiroad's got a lot more surprises in store. I want to thank you guys for watching. This is Ryan, Nate, and myself signing off. We'll see you next time. Peace.
Peace.